Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another live detailing session here at the Rag Company. I hope you are all having a wonderful week, and we're here to hopefully make it a little bit brighter. So, we've got some fun stuff going on out in the studio, but before you do that, I want to make sure you hit that like button because I've got a hunch you're going to like what we show you today. And if you don't, hey, you get your money back, right? Because it didn't cost you anything. Anyway, moving on, let's see what's going out in the studio. Fellas, how are you out there?
Dane, thank you very much, and hello everybody, and welcome to a very special live Rinseless event here at the Rag Company YouTube channel. Joining me today, the one, the only, Lucas from Customer Service.
Thank you for having me, Anthony.
Thank you for joining me. I was about to say Lucas, Tamra's favorite customer service person.
Dang right.
Dang right, man. So anyways, everybody, welcome to a live event where today we're going to be doing a rinseless wash here on this Bronco behind us. And so we're going to be using Hero Rinseless Wash from ADS along with a slew of other chemicals and things like that to get this thing cleaned up because, believe it or not, this is a filthy vehicle. I know it's white, but if you get up close, you'll see that the running boards are absolutely caked with dirt. All the lowers are caked with dirt, and this thing is in need of some love. And so it's rinseless season, right? Wintertime is a perfect time to kind of hone your skills when it comes to rinseless washing because this is going to be one of the safest methods to clean your vehicle and keep up with it through the wintertime. Granted, some people are going to be living in a lot crazier areas with lots of snow and salt and whatnot, but when you're not pressure washing your vehicle or you're not taking it down to like a spray and pay, this is going to be a fantastic solution that you can do in your garage, in your driveway, and you can even do it when the temperatures are pretty cold and you're still going to end up with a very clean vehicle. So, Lucas.
Yeah.
Hero Rinseless Wash.
Love Hero. That's all I use now.
I could be your hero,
you
baby.
Could be my hero.
Right? Something like that?
Something like that.
So Hero here is our weapon of choice today. So we have this with the Kosh Chemi measuring top. So this is something that you can actually attach to really almost any one of our rinseless bottles. And this is going to be something you pick up at theragcompany.com. You simply just twist it off, twist it back on, and then from there you can pop the top and squeeze the bottle and actually get your dilution without having to do any type of measuring with a cap or anything like that. Now on top of that, we're going to be using Green Star from Kosh Chemi. And so this is going to be diluted roughly, I have about 15 to 1 inside the sprayer right here, which we'll be knocking out the lowers and the wheels with. And then we also have some Kosh Chemi glass cleaner. I do have some Armor Detail Supply Ghost if we want to get crazy later. And then on top of that, I do have tire glaze. We're not sure which we want to use. Do we want to use Ghost? Do we want to use Tire Glaze? We're going to let that be up to you guys. But for the most part, we also have the Ultra Safe Sponge here along with the Gauntlet drying towels. And then our main spraying efforts are actually going to be done with the IK sprayer, PPF sprayer. So this is going to be a full stainless steel sprayer. It's actually meant for tint and PPF, but we love it because it really offers a lot of power and a lot of pressure when it comes to rinsing things off here. And I like the coiled hose. Now the IK Multi Pro 12 is also available, which is going to be a pure liquid sprayer that you can use as well with a Schrader valve, so you can still pump that up via an air compressor or attach it with the E compressor from IK sprayers. So what do you think, Lucas? Do you think we have enough of a setup here?
I think we have a pretty good setup, especially for a little rinseless. You know,
I think
we're in a climate-controlled environment. It's pretty warm, so we don't gotta be too careful.
This is ideal for us, but just something you can do at home, right? Probably your garage is pretty cold here in the wintertime. You can grab yourself a little heater, maybe light some candles, maybe turn on some Enya in the background, you know, whatever it may be. That's going to allow you to zen out and really kind of jump into a nice full rinseless. Some people like to use multiple towels, some people like to use multiple wash mitts, or in our case, we'll be using 2, again, of the Ultra Safe Sponge. Dane, what are the people saying in the comments? Are they excited for this?
Oh, they're excited. It's a whole lot of hellos. It's a whole lot of, you know, just the general, like, people just getting in here. Some folks are driving home right now. They're on their commute, and they want to let you know that they're listening, even though they can't watch because, you know, got to be an attentive driver, right? So,
perfect.
You know, they're just being responsible. That's what I'm getting out of this. However, I will say, I see this all the time when Rinseless comes up because, obviously, like any product, but especially with Rinseless, there's the haters out there, right? They love their foam. They love their big showy stuff. Why would anybody bother with Rinseless when this is perfectly good? Why would you waste your time? I've heard people somehow claim that their soap washes are faster than Rinseless. I don't know where they're getting this info. It doesn't make sense. You're literally removing a step. But anyway, what do you have to say to the controversy of Rinseless? Like, just the fact that it exists and some people don't like that.
I just realized something. Hold on, I have to correct myself. In this bottle, I looked at the back side and I saw the color. I'm like, oh, that's Ghost. No, it's Amplify. This is our drying aid. Obviously, it's been a long week. It's only Wednesday and it already feels like Friday. So apologize about that. So we are using Amplify as our drying aid. So to your point there, Dane, so Rinseless, we made a whole video on this just a few weeks ago going over kind of the history of O&R, right, where Rinseless really started and really where it began. And the science is there, right? I mean, basically, even though we're using Hero, right, from ADS rather than O&R, the science is there, right? It's backed by science. It's backed by years and years and years of testing and use from thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have never had an issue with scratching, marring, or anything like that. I mean, shoot. Do you think if this could ever cause damage, it would be as popular as it is? No. It's not a fad. It's not going away. Rinseless is another fantastic washing option when you don't have access to running hose or soap or anything like that.
Definitely.
I mean, so Lucas, you're doing a lot of detailing on the side right now.
I am.
I see you hustling, dude.
Appreciate it, man.
I see those Facebook posts. I see that you're working hard. When you're at home, right, when you're taking on clients' cars, right, especially at this time of year, how are you washing?
So Rinseless right here. We're about to demonstrate pretty much what I do. If it's like super hammered and I don't feel like pulling out my pressure washer, I'll take it down to a pay and spray, knock off the majority of the dirt, bring it back in the garage, roll it in, and then I'll start this process right here.
100%. And people wondering if you can do that, yes. The answer is if you have your own vehicle or if you have a customer's vehicle that's okay with you driving it and there's a local pay and spray that's maybe nearby, something that you can do is you can go down there, use their heated water, rinse off the car completely, get the underside, get the wheels, get all of that, and then you can actually switch to the touchless, or not the touchless, the spotless option, which most of the pay and sprays are going to have a spotless option there, which uses deionized water. So after you've gone through with your major rinsing, you can actually go through with that spotless water, dilute everything, rinse everything off one more time, and at that point there shouldn't be any water that has heavy mineral deposits on the vehicle. At that point you can hop back in that car, take it right back to your garage or right back to your driveway, and then finish the rinseless process there, or you can actually do the rinseless in the parking lot, and that's what's cool about rinseless is you can pack a bucket, you can pack what you need, and you can really knock out this wash anywhere, whether it's at an apartment complex, your driveway, your home, your work. This is just a lot of possibilities here. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this, Dane. Unless there's anything that you wanted to say.
Yeah, so, you know, I was kind of waiting to throw comments on the screen because I wanted to give you guys a chance to go through it. But there were a few questions, so let me go ahead and pull up my queue here. I did have some stuff relating, for example, to the IK sprayer. Somebody, I feel like I can just answer this one, but can I use my IK E-Foam Pro sprayer with Rinseless?
So you would have to either clog the one of the orifices there within the suction tube, meaning you'd have to either melt it or clog it or something like that to be able to reduce the air being sucked into the mixture content. And you'd also have to probably remove your foam filter, your filter at the end of your sprayer wand. Yes, you can spray a liquid, but if you were to take a foam sprayer right out of the box and try to spray a liquid, it's not going to work. You're going to get this sputtering, airy, wet something that's going to come out there.
Specifically in regards to rinseless washes that are not like a soap-based one.
Not going to work. So buying a multi-sprayer is probably the right option. Again, this is the tint and PPF sprayer. It's a full stainless steel design. The thing is exceptionally robust. You can use hot water in this. You can use a lot of different things. The downside is that this particular sprayer is expensive, right? We know that this is an expensive sprayer. We've had this one for years and years and years. The Multi Pro 12 is going to be a more affordable option for people wanting to get a dedicated sprayer that still actually packs the same power with the Schrader valve function. So, I mean, do what you want to do, right? Go to Home Depot. You can get a deck sprayer. You could do the same thing with a deck sprayer if you don't want to spend a ton of money. But the differences between the IK besides the stainless is that this is rated for a higher pressure content. You can use warm or hot water inside this without any issues. And all in all, I do think that this holds its pressure significantly longer than the Multi Pro 12. That's just from our
100%.
testing, and it feels like it just keeps going and going and going and going. This is just it's a really nice design. This also has the coiled hose, which I like the coiled hose because when you have, we all know, when you have a normal IK sprayer hose, you go, what do I do? You know, you're kind of curling it up, and you're trying to figure out where to put it. This one, I just drag it along with me. It stays compressed, and it stays very compact. And then a question here, can we compare Hero to Absolute? I think in a future video, possibly, we can compare the two.
Sure.
If you've never tried either, I recommend trying both and figuring out which one works best for you. A lot of people like Absolute due to its slickness. Some people like the fact that it's a thicker product, meaning the viscosity is thicker. But for the most part, it's the same exact dilution as Hero. Hero is also a very pleasant experience, and if you were to compare the two, you know, some might find that Hero rinses out the wash media a little bit better than Absolute, but Absolute does result in a slicker surface. So,
No, very helpful.
you know, you use your own judgment there. That's just kind of our findings, but there is differences between all the rinselesses that we carry, and none of them are really like, we try not to put them next to each other because they have their own pros and cons of each.
Okay, and then at the very end of the video, somebody wants you to list all the products, but I want us to go ahead and get into the wash here, so we can do the process, and then we'll touch on that near the end there, Vincent. Hopefully
so let's
that
do
works
this.
for you.
So I'm going to show you guys kind of the rinsing power here of just using this sprayer right here, so you can see an idea. And so we'll just kind of do a quick little demo here on the hood and the fender. I'll grab Jimmy to come in and get a good shot of this. Again, this has been pumped up with an air compressor, meaning we take our Schrader valve and just put it to that. You can also just hand pump it if you want to hand pump it and get a good workout. So taking this here, we're going, and you can hear how much power this has. So we've got Hero inside the sprayer here at 256:1, so standard dilution. And so you can actually start seeing we're going to start rinsing a lot of this dirt and a lot of this muck right off the top there. So it's going to start working to encapsulate that dirt, start bringing it down, but of course providing a very significant amount of lubrication in the process, way more so than just water alone. So I'm going to have Lucas pre-spray. You got the pre-spray, and I'm going to show everybody how to mix everything up in the bucket here. So Hero Rinseless Wash, again, we've got our measuring cap attached to this. This is the KCX measuring cap. Fits pretty much every bottle that we sell, so you can just grab this thing, plop it into whatever you're using at the time. So for this, we just pop the top on this and then lightly squeeze. Don't go crazy with this. You're going to blast yourself in the face. It's not going to be fun. And you're just going to lightly squeeze, and we're going to start filling this up. You can see we're going, and I am going to go for, oh my gosh, where are my eyes at? Oh, there we go. Okay. So we're going to go for roughly 2 ounces here. So we're going to go about to right there, so, and we're going to go 1, and then 2. So once we have that mixed up, we're going to take our hand here, swirl this around. What's nice in the wintertime is that you can, in fact, use some nice warm water. We made a mistake. So my friend, Jose, Unlimited Car Details, was super kind and sent out a couple of TRC employees a bucket warmer. It's kind of like a sous vide kind of thing that you can drop down into a bucket, and it literally will heat up whatever body of water it's in, right?
Amazing.
And we talked about it all week. We're like, we gotta bring it, we gotta bring it. Jose sent that to us. We want to use it in this video. We all forgot. Dang it.
I offered to bring it in.
I know you all. Well, Gabe offered to bring it in. I offered to bring it. I forgot. I was in a rush this morning, and so needless to say, we forgot it. But those do exist out there if you're looking for a way to kind of heat your bucket up and keep that liquid warm, or you can just fill it up with warm water. I'm going to put a little bit more in this because I think I kind of under-diluted it. And anyways, but you can use hot water, you can use warm water, whatever you want to use. Right now, this water is feeling a little cold because Gabriel Garcia, he didn't want to plumb a heated line. He only wanted to do cold water. I think he forgot that it gets cold here in Idaho. So while Lucas is doing that, we're going to break out our USS sponge. So the USS, for people who have kind of, I don't want to say been living under a rock, or who just haven't really been keeping up on the development of some of the new TRC products. So the USS was released last year, and this is going to be a slightly softer sponge than the UBS, the Ultra Black sponge, the previous version. Now, the UBS did require a break-in period, right? A small break-in period, but a break-in period nonetheless, where we'd probably recommend doing a soak inside a bucket of O&R or Rinseless for, just a little bit, or breaking it in on glass. And as time goes, it would become a little bit more malleable, and you'd be able to work it a little bit better. The USS is ready to go right out the packaging. No break-in period, no nothing. It is softer. It does have more pliability to it, and so you're going to be able to get into the nooks and crannies. And it's this way. It does not deteriorate with time. It doesn't mean that this is just going to get softer and softer and flop around. That's not how this particular foam works. It's going to start this way and stay this way after hundreds of washes. So we're going to take this, drop that in on that side. You got yours here. So we're going to go ahead and dunk these, and I'll kind of show you what this looks like when we're picking up our Rinseless liquid. So give it a nice little squeeze, and you can see that the USS is holding that Rinseless. So we can go ahead and squeeze it out to probably about halfway point. You'll have just a little bit of weight to it, but nothing crazy, and you can see the liquid on the surface here. And the second that we start actually using the sponge, it's going to start releasing that product. And so that product's going to be doing most of the work. We're just doing a slight agitation and simply kind of applying the product, if not gliding it over the surface. You don't have to scrub or anything like that. You're just letting the chemical do the work. And so taking this, taking a nice little squeeze about that halfway point, then we're going to come over here to the hood, find a good starting area, and then we're going to go ahead and make our way. You can work in straight lines, you can work crisscross applesauce, whatever you want to do. And then when you get to a point where you go, okay, I think I need to flip the sponge, or I'm going to go for another dunk, we'll flip it over. Any of that remaining product is going to drip to the other side. We'll come back through, and we will clean up that area one more time. And this stuff feels awesome. Hero is legit. This was definitely one of probably ADS's, I call it one of their top fives. I mean, it was definitely something that they needed to make, and I'm glad they made it, because they developed just a killer Rinseless, and this already feels amazing. So
it smells great too. Love the smell. It's my favorite smelling Rinseless.
It's like a watermelon. It's watermelon, bubblegummy.
Yeah,
something kind of like that. But it's one of the better smelling Rinselesses, in my opinion. All of our Rinselesses smell amazing, but there's something about Hero that just smells awesome.
Before we move on, this car is legitimately pretty dirty.
Yeah.
Should we pre-spade the lowers before we start?
Absolutely. Walk them through the process. Do it, Lucas.
Come on here, Jimmy. So right here we got our Green Star 15-1. So I'm just going to start by hitting some of these bigger areas. Like right here, you can see, like, I rinsed it pretty hard. It's still pretty dirty. Whoa. So I'm going to come through and just pre-spray some of these lower parts. And come back here. So I don't think we're going to touch any of the the vinyl and the soft top, correct, Anthony?
Yep. No, the top of the soft top, believe it or not, dude, that thing still looks absolutely.
That's the best thing on this car.
It looks like perfectly. We could lint roll that. That's pretty much all it needs. It looks completely clean up there.
All right. Let's get that on there. Let that start working, doing its thing.
So while you're doing this, I do have a question here from Steve. I put it on the screen thinking you guys would respond to it while it was out there, but you can answer it now. It was just a guy here, Steve. He was wondering, because he's new to Rinseless, can this be done outdoors?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You could do this outdoors in the summertime, outdoors in the wintertime. You can do this anywhere. Literally anywhere. I get tagged in Instagram posts all the time on the Rag Company Instagram. I have people that are doing rinseless washes in like car, what's that called? You know, like underground parking lots. I get people doing rinseless washing in their apartment complexes. I mean, it's crazy how many people are utilizing rinseless pretty much anywhere and everywhere. And it's just, truthfully, there's something about it that just, you know, after a freshly rinseless car, you look back at it, you top it off with a drying aid, and you go, shoot, man, I can't believe I got that car to look that good with 1 to 2 products and a little bucket of water. It's insane. It still blows my mind to this day. So Lucas, you're going through and you are actually spraying down the pre-treated areas.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's going through. Yeah, again, Green Star 15-to-1, just a general APC. You can use it on pretty much everything. So he's just going through and knocking that down. And I'm just going to come back and kind of follow up behind him. Dane, next question. What do we got?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've actually got several. I keep not wanting to not interrupt you guys. Basically, I've got a handful here. Oh, I like this. Jason. He says, doesn't look very cold in there. Where's the winter part of this demo? I would argue, first of all, the time of year it is, the fact we live in a cold climate, and that's what got this car dirty in the first place.
Yeah, no, and put your hands inside this bucket. Again, Gabriel, we need heated water. The fact that we're doing this with cold water is, yeah, it's not the most fun. But you can do this again. You can do this out. We could do this outside. We could have done this in the front. I guess the reason why we're doing this inside here is because this is kind of how far our cameras go out and how far our wireless setup goes out. So we could do it out there. It would just be a slightly lower production.
It would be shot on a cell phone or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Different kind of live. All right, so then I've got Morton here.
Okay.
How do you deal with tar when you're using a rinseless wash?
So tar, what I'll usually do is I either treat those areas before the wash or after the wash, meaning that if I'm cleaning the vehicle and I know that there's no contamination, that's when I'm going to take a dedicated tar remover on a towel, such as like a rip and rag, and then I'll go through, knock that area down, and then I will kind of spot clean that area with a rinseless, and that's really only to dilute the tar remover, whether it's Ulex or T or any of the other tar removers. I personally don't like having a clean vehicle, using a tar removal product and then just walking away. You know, I feel like I'm just leaving a lot of that solvent there on the surface, and I don't like that part of it. So I go back and I re-clean those areas, and you can do that with a waterless or a rinseless or whatever you want to do. The other option is that you can treat the tar beforehand, but just know that if you're treating tar with like this, let's just say a towel in that similar way, then you're going to be agitating that area, and you're going to be agitating dirt around those tar spots, potentially causing some marring or scratching. So just know that wherever you're wiping, you just want to have plenty of lubrication, and you want to be working on a clean area, preferably before tackling tar.
All right, and then I've got Steve here. Says he's living in New York City and sometimes short on time. Can I throw rinseless on and just power wash it off at the local self-wash station?
So sorry, Dean, say that one more time here.
I mean, you could technically, I would say, pre-spray it a little bit, just to kind of help encapsulate the dirt a little bit, and then pre-rinse it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the point is, most of the time with a rinseless wash, using it on its own, you're going to bring down some of the dirt. But if you're in, like, New York City and it's winter there, you're going to be getting a lot of crud and stuff on there. I would recommend pre-spraying with something a little stronger first and then following up with a rinseless wash. So maybe with, like, your APC, say, like a Forest or something along those lines would be good. And then follow up with a rinseless wash afterwards. You just target, you know, with the stronger product, the areas that are going to be chunkier, tougher. The rinseless wash is really meant to be the bulk of the washing, but the fact of the matter is you are going to have stuff that's stronger than what even a regular soap would handle, and rinseless is much the same way. You treat it the way you would a soap. It doesn't foam, and it won't it won't give you that show, but it's still functionally you're going to use it in much the same way. And the difference is you're just not rinsing off after you apply it on the surface there. I mean, you can go straight on.
Yep. What's funny is that, so this side of the car, I don't know about your side, Lucas, but I do have, I'm not going to call it tar, but I do have some like contamination here.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you seeing some like black contamination?
A little bit. I'm having to go over some areas twice.
So,
just to be,
and some of this stuff is pretty stuck on here, so what's kind of cool is what I'm going to do here. In the middle of a rinseless wash, right? So I've gone through, we've already pre-sprayed this side, we've gone ahead, we've used the rinseless, we've sprayed everything down, pre-treated that, and then I've also taken my sponge and I've gone through and agitated everything. What I'm gonna do now, this is kind of playing find the camera, I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself, let's just see, what are we working with here? I'm gonna grab myself an Ultra Clay scrubber. I'm gonna grab the KCX version here. And for people wondering, the KCX version, yes, is our same Ultra Clay scrubber, but just in a dark gray. So, clay scrubber here, right? This one's been used probably a couple times, so it's kind of been honed in already. I'm just gonna throw this down in my bucket, just like that. Still using the same dilution, 256 to 1. This area's already been cleaned. I just find that I have some contamination kind of left over behind. I'll take this, go through, clay that off. I have more than enough lubrication, and I'm not scratching anything or marring anything. This feels really nice. Getting rid of all that, and bam, that was like one pass. I was able to get all that off. Back to a nice, silky smooth surface. You can go back into my bucket, drop that in there, squeeze out a little bit of product, and then come back through and redo it.
Juice Free here thinks that we need to do more videos using the USS. I agree.
Yes, I know. Yeah, we do need to.
thing is, though,
we've just been
we
haven't
really
really
more designed for rinseless, and a lot of the content is, you know, we're doing foam washes.
Yeah, a lot of people like the foam washes,
You know?
unfortunately, you know, because most people see us do this and they
That's
just think that
YouTube.
we're smearing water on
Right.
a surface.
It's really not,
Pretty
guys.
much.
There's more to it than that. It's just the visual element is a little lacking compared to a foam wash. We get it.
Right.
But in terms of the actual work it does, I mean, anybody who's not sold on like using a rinseless wash, I'm convinced they just haven't experienced it the right way yet, because anybody who's has even a passing interest in efficiency, they should be interested, because you get the exact same level of clean. I know people argue all day long that, oh no, soap does it better somehow. No, and I mean, you can work in direct sunlight, all those things. It's awesome. It's just so useful. And unless you're just trying to impress other people with a video or, Instagram content, things along those lines, there's really no reason not to do it. Unless, of course, you're somebody who's like really in it for the therapy of it. That's where I can understand wanting more of the experience of having a frothy foam and all that stuff. Go for it. There's nothing wrong with doing it either way. It's just if you're doing it for customers, as Levi always said, the foam is for the honeys, but O&R is for the monies.
Yeah. It really is, man. Okay.
And, I got another one here. Juice Free was going crazy wanting to know if he could take that handle off of the the PPF sprayer and putting it onto a multi-12.
I don't think I've tried that.
I don't think I've tried that either.
One tip I can give, though,
Okay.
if you have like a truck or an SUV or something, if you have the Multi Pro 12 or the Foam Pro 12, you can take that lance and attach it right here, and then just take the tip, and then just use that tip, and then you got a lance.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet.
I like that. Okay, Lucas, where are you at? I got lost in the sauce.
Pretty much done most of that side. If you want to just like clay off some of the tar, maybe some of the contamination.
I'm going through. I'm gonna knock out this back. You got this back hatch for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best I could anyway.
I'm getting this window. Yeah, it's feeling okay. Do you want to clean this tire cover? I know it seems like kind of a waste, but I feel like this won't look right until we do that.
Yeah, why not?
So I'll go through. Ultra Clay scrubber. Don't slip and fall to my death here on the white room floor. It gets a little ice skatey around here, you know?
So, There's some people here, now that I said all those things, there's people here talking about rinseless versus soap in the comments, but it's good. I like seeing that. We've got, oh no, Neil White asking the important questions, or more comments. It would be amazing if TRC made an Anthony photo sticker of that old bodybuilding pic on Taco.
Oh gosh, please no. You know the thing is like the joke was hilarious at first, right? It's
gone
years.
too far.
It's been years, and it's like it doesn't ever leave. We try to get rid of the photo. And it comes back. And so
they just print new ones.
Anyways.
Now here's a question for you, Anthony.
Yeah.
And Lucas too. What's the coldest temperature you guys have rinseless washed in?
I'm assuming you mean outside, like in the elements?
Yeah, obviously outside.
Dude, I've done it to where it started freezing on the surface before, but of course that's not fun.
Yeah.
And so
not ideal.
That's probably, I don't know what temperature that would be, but it was freaking cold.
I would say right around freezing, 32 degrees for me.
Yeah,
outside.
32. I've kind of tried to do it in 28-degree weather, but it depends, right? It depends on the wind chill. It depends on a lot of different things that's going to cause it to freeze. I can tell you right now, it doesn't freeze as fast as just standard water. If I were to do a soap and water wash, I feel like that would actually freeze a little bit faster, so it's not that bad. But yeah, it's still not fun when it freezes.
And then I got Mike Reyes here. This one made me feel good to see. Mike here says, I was not a big fan of rinseless, as I love foam, but past 2 years I've switched. Way more efficient. Maybe foam a few times a year now. Yeah, I mean, you're foaming for yourself at that point, but when you just got to get something clean, it's still a good experience. Rinselesses can smell great. Like there's all the experience you have with soap minus the frothy foaminess. And even then, Optimum, of course, now has hyperfoam, so you can do that if that's something you're interested in, certainly. But that's kind of the bridge.
How do you feel about throwing some Green Star on here back here?
You could hit some Green Star on there. You want to hit some Green Star, then go back. I'd probably do like a light mist of Green Star, then I'd probably just go back over with a USS and then call it good.
Yeah.
So that'd be one method. So I'm going to pre-spray the wheels. So pre-spraying the wheels with a rinseless, you don't really have to, you should probably do it, but you'll kind of see my method here. So this wheel is dirty. This is a dirty wheel. So take my Hero, go through, do my pre-spray, make sure I have plenty of the product on both wheels here. So do the same thing on this back one. Did this just drag with me? I don't know what the heck just happened.
Juice Free here has a really good point regarding the rinseless versus soap debate. Juice Free says they think soap is better because they conflate soap with using APCs and pressure washers, as if you can't do that when you're also using a rinseless. Literally, anything you can do with soap, just replace the soap with a rinseless, and it's going to be a quicker process every time.
Yeah, totally.
You could literally do everything else the same, but because you're using a rinseless, you still eliminated one step.
Yeah. So for the wheels now, this is what I'll typically do, right? We've already washed the entire body of the vehicle, so at this point, what I know is that if my rinseless solution is still, I don't know, relatively clean, like it's still in decent shape, I'll just utilize the same bucket and knock out my wheels with this. And that way I don't have to have an entirely separate bucket. And I know that the wheels, being that they're going to be the dirtiest part of the vehicle, are going to be saved for last. So I'll usually grab an additional towel. This is a Spectrum 420 here, 70-30 blend, 420 GSM. This does have a butter soft suede edge on it. So I'll grab this, rinse this out, and then this is going to be my wash media for going through and knocking out the wheels. So again, I did pre-spray these with Green Star, so they are pre-sprayed, and I'm going to start pulling off a lot of dirt between the combination of Hero and Green Star and be able to do this safely. Lucas, how are things going? Where are you at?
Oh, pretty good. Just touching up a few areas that are a little extra contaminated.
These wheels aren't fun. This isn't a fun wheel to clean. There's a lot of corners on this setup here.
It's made to look like, like a 6-spoke, is it? I'm seeing the angle, it's a little sharp, so I can't quite see how many spokes it has, but there's actually doubles of everything.
Okay. So going through, cleaning this up, and then you can flip your towel as many times as you want to for the wheels, just to kind of give yourself a new working surface. But these are cleaning up really, really nice. Yeah, I used to be super crazy, and I would have 2 different buckets for rinselesses for my vehicles, you know, for wheels and for the paintwork in the wheels. And then I realized, I'm like, it's just not necessary, right? Because the more often I did more rinselesses, the cleaner my paint would be, meaning that the less dirty my bucket would be on that next wash and that next wash and that next wash. Finally, I was just like, F it, dude. I'm doing 1 bucket. I'm doing paint first, wheels second. And still to this day, that was like 4 years ago, I have yet to mar, scratch, damage, anything. And that's just what I've done. So it's been a pretty wonderful system. So from here, after going through, I did my pre-spray with Hero. Then I did my 15-to-1 Green Star on the face of the wheel. Did that, went through, agitated it with a microfiber towel. And now, just because I'm a crazy person, right? And I don't want any random APC being left behind, even at 15-to-1, I'll just go through and then re-rinse that area with just a little bit more rinseless. And I know at that point, everything's been rinsed. I can now dry that wheel, and it's going to be nice and perfectly clean. So, are these tips helpful? Do people already know all this stuff? Have we already done this too many times to where this is all old information, or what, Dane? What do you think?
No, everybody always enjoys this stuff. I'm basically keeping the questions kind of behind and putting them up when there's an opportunity, but I can keep them going. No problem. I just, you know, for example, here we've got Jeff Lung. Says rinseless versus shampoo, what's the difference? We kind of covered that a little bit, but he more specifically wants to know when to use rinseless. So he's just trying to understand. I would argue like a big part of it is being able to use it out in the sun compared to a lot of soaps.
I mean, sun, you can do it in your garage, you're using minimal water, you're making minimal mess. It's just as safe, if not safer, than soap in some cases. I mean, shoot, I don't even... The list goes on. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, some people in shops have completely replaced their washing methods with just rinseless only nowadays. So they're only pressure washing if there's heavy mud or contaminants, or maybe an underside of a vehicle that needs to be sprayed off. But for the most part, I mean, rinseless, you're going to be able to do, you know, 90% of what you could still do with a pressure washer.
Yeah.
It really is. I would just treat them as interchangeable.
One of the things too, well, rinseless saves a lot of time, but I also think you can take your time a lot more with the advantage of that you can work panel by panel if you need to.
Oh, totally. And if it dries on the surface, there's no stress.
Yeah. If
just
it dries,
go back over
just
it,
go back
and
over it, and
it'll all clean up. Because, you know, the thing is I guess we've said this in the past, does a rinseless wash, does it soften water? No, it doesn't soften water like let's just say salt would in a traditional water softener, nor will it deionize water or anything like that. But what it does is the formula of a rinseless wash traditionally will just keep the minerals in the water from bonding to the surface, right? So it just means that they're not going to stick and set up and stain and water spot like it would with just pure mineral water, pure hose water, or pure faucet water. It just buys you more time, and it just kind of prevents it from happening in the first place. So even if you had 200 parts per million, whatever it is, 250, 300 parts per million in some water cases, just using a rinseless wash is going to minimize your water spotting, 80%. 90% in some cases, just because of how effective it is at keeping those minerals from sticking. And so it's a beautiful system. All right, Lucas, you got other side of the wheels. So same process. I'm going to rinse this one really quick, and then I'm going to take a ripping rag and I'm going to clean my running boards here. Oh no.
Are we out?
We're out.
Oh my goodness.
We're out.
Not out of air.
No, we're out of, yeah, but look at, right? Even just being out of liquid.
Getting steam out of that bad boy. So if you don't have a steamer,
this will just keep going.
Pressure for days.
This will literally just keep going. That's how much pressure this thing holds.
So you got to go the manual pressure release valve, and then you can fill her up again.
Yeah, so I come over here, and this can be a faster release. You can also do both at the same time.
Were you cleaning tires or no?
I'm just kind of just wiping around them. But Lucas, do you want to go fill this bad boy up here?
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, I've got a lot more questions.
How
for
much
you
you want me
guys,
throwing?
So
What the
make
heck?
it easy.
See, this thing has so much freaking air in it. Still going.
No
I think you're good.
shortage.
How much water?
You can fill it up at halfway. I mean, I only had about a third of it full. I mean, which is, I don't even know if that was even a full gallon, to be honest. So, all right. So, while he's filling that up, let's answer some questions. Let's kill some.
Yeah,
kill some.
we got a bunch. So Rich here wanted to know where to find that measurement tool. Go ahead and point out again what it is so people can see it.
Jimmy, what do we call it? It's just called the KCX measuring cap, right? I think so. It's under the KCX brand.
And
It's just
then
called
I've got
measuring dilution cap, something like that.
Iced Out Detailing LLC.
Dosing
Would it
cap.
be ideal just to use a synthetic clay media for the rinseless method?
So to wash it with just clay?
No, I think
wouldn't-
he's probably just saying to use clay while also doing a rinseless. Maybe that's what he's trying to get at.
To use clay while also doing, just like I just did, just like a minute ago when I was washing and then use the same product for my clay. You could do that. I mean, you can interchange. Basically, the way I see it is that certain rinseless washes, like Hero, which offer a lot of lubrication, at 256-to-1, they still glide perfectly well without damaging anything in the claying process. I'm not worried about that at all. Some others, you might feel a little bit more confident at 128-to-1 rather than 256-to-1, but you can have an extra sprayer mixed up for that.
All right, and then I got Carl here. Which rinseless, Absolute or Hero, has a lower freeze point? Just asking, as it's 23 in my garage and I need a wash. You're going to have a hard time with either at that temperature, but that's any detailing product would have a tough time below
Yeah.
freezing temps.
I would do a panel at a time, and I would mix up a hot bucket of water, and then do a one panel at a time, and see if you can get a small garage heater. I mean, seriously, we joke around about it all the time, and we say, get yourself a little propane heater, crack the garage door so you're not gassing yourself out or anything. But there's ways to heat a garage for at a really affordable price that can at least get it to a good ambient temperature to where you don't have to worry about that, right? I mean, I think that Mr. Heater makes, it's like a 360-degree propane top heater. I can't remember what's it called, 720, 360. There's a, no, 540, I think is what it's called. And that one, it's like 60, 70 bucks, worth every penny. You go to the store, get yourself your $30 propane tank, you put that thing on the top of it, you crack the garage door, you turn it on. That garage, I kid you not, could go from 20-something degrees to a nice 60 in about, 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes. And at that point, you're ready to go and you can start washing. So there's ways to heat a garage that's still really efficient that you can still do this without having to be stressed out.
Yeah.
Glenn does have the dosing tap, so we're going to go ahead and throw that up here on the screen so you can see where that's at on the website. There we go, $5. And we're out. Crap.
Oh, no.
Story of my life. Sorry, I got everybody hyped up about this thing. Gone, not even in stock. More is on the way. I know we have our next KCX order coming soon. Is this Matt OG's Bronco? No, it is not. No,
But it's an
not.
opportunity to tell people where we'll be in a couple weeks.
I believe I'd be climbing up on a ladder, but we will be going to go see Matt here in just about 2.5 weeks. We will be there at OG HQ, Matt's new house, something like that, filming some content. So I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Lucas, can I get
I
get a spray over here on these running boards, please?
Absolutely.
Get a quick little light dusting. You getting an arm workout over there or what?
I was trying not to slip while carrying this thing.
No, dude. Listen, we have insurance here, but ideally we don't want to slip and fall.
Well, yeah.
So going
Not trying
through, I'm gonna back this out, get some actual power here to rinse off some of this sand.
Now, while you're doing that, Carl F. wants to know, do you have a preference on Green Star versus Brakebuster for a pre-treat on wheels?
Green Star, either or. I'm just using Green Star because it's diluted. There's nothing there, right? That's not gonna hurt anything. Brakebuster, the reason why I'm not using Brakebuster is because I know that I'm going to hit some tire with it and it's going to clean a part of the tire, and
Sure.
I'm doing a rinseless and I'm not going to scrub the tires, so then I wouldn't have a nice, you know, finish there, and it'd probably bother me. But you can use either or. You can also dilute brake buster if you want to. When I'm using a rinseless in the garage, I'll usually dilute brake buster with cleaning the wheels and tires, and I'll dilute it like 3 to 1, and I still have a really good clean just doing that, so I don't even have to use it at full strength if not needed.
Yeah, and that's generally a benefit of more alkaline leaning cleaners, is the ability when you're working on the wheels to use it on both the tires and the wheels.
Yeah.
Because if it's not on the alkaline side of things, it's not going to do much on your rubbers.
Yeah. So I just took a ripping rag and I'm just going through and I'm cleaning off these running boards with a soaked Hero ripping rag. And what's nice is after I'm done with this, because it's full of, you know, a little bit of sand particulates and things like that, I am just going to throw this thing away. Or I'm going to demote it to a floor cleaning rag. You know, the Rippin' Rag Originals, still a 70-30 blend. You can get 80 towels for 30 bucks, or you can get 30 towels for 15 bucks. And you can use them as needed, check your oil, do some light detailing with them, or do exactly what I'm doing. I'm kind of using them as a sacrificial towel just to clean up these lowers. And after I'm done with this, I just throw it on the ground. Done.
Nice. And
Speaking
Dan
of
here,
ripping rags, I believe we're currently having 20% off of a specific kind of ripping rag.
Do we have 20% off a specific type of ripping rag? Which one, Lucas?
The Ultra Ripping Rag XL.
No
Pearl
way.
Weave.
No
Pearls.
way.
Seriously, man.
Yeah, no, the Ultras is, dude, those are the towels you feel bad about throwing away, if I'm honest. So, you know, do what you want, but I know that those towels are just so freaking nice for everything. So, Lucas, how much farther do you have? You have one wheel done? Work on your other?
I got one more wheel and then I'm done.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my final rinse here. So what this is for me is this is my crazy final rinse with a little bit more rinseless. You don't have to do this. You never have to do this. But you can go straight into the drying process, but what I like to do is just to go over it one more time, and this is in case I missed a spot, right? This is maybe I missed a spot when I was going through with my USS. Maybe I don't know, I clayed an area and I kind of moved some contamination around, right? This is just a security process just to say, hey, more lubrication on the surface is never going to hurt. And I'm going to go through with my drying towel and dry from here.
Ah!
Oh, sorry, get you.
I've been hit.
so while you're doing that, Anthony, Dan here wanted to know, do you think rinseless washing, both paint and wheels, is a way to go on a ceramic-coated car, using a drying aid at the end? I mean, your rinseless can be a drying aid.
Yeah, I mean, do you think rinseless washing, both paint and wheels, is the way to go in a ceramic-coated car? I mean, yeah, dude, if you're staying up on it constantly, right, and you don't need to bust out the pressure washer, then yeah, dude, of course, 100%. Yeah. Oftentimes when we have a coated car that's just really dialed in and the hydrophobics are amazing and it's just working so well, I'll kind of start pressure washing stuff and I go, this car didn't need that. This car needed a very light pre-spray, then could have been cleaned up and wiped down with no damage. So sometimes we go a little bit too far beyond on a wash sometimes.
I was going to say, like, even some cars, like in my experience, like even doing my own car, like, you know, maybe I'll go a few weeks, haven't been keeping up on the rinseless washing, and it might need something like where it could get to that territory where having a pressure washer or a soap wash might be nice, but then I start pre-spraying with rinseless and you just see it run off, so.
Yep.
Pretty nice. And then, I've got Dan here also following up. If I have really hard water, should I use DI water with rinseless, or is there no need?
If you have really hard water, should you use DI with rinseless? You can. That's going to be like that's like a bulletproof, like that's like an anti-spot method. Like you'll never get a spot ever with that method. And some people like to do that. I know that I like to do that in certain cases. I don't know. At some point, we're kind of splitting hairs there. It's just how crazy do you want to get? That's the answer. So, Lucas, if you want to re-rinse that side, and then from here, I'm going to take our gauntlet. So, this is going to be the largest gauntlet drying towel. So, this is going to be the big boy. So, gauntlet's going to be Obviously dual colored here. We're gonna have that dark gray on one side, the lighter gray on the other. Butter soft suede edge, 70-30 blend, coming in about 900 GSM. This is just a killer towel, man. I mean, if you've never experienced a gauntlet before, it's amazing. It's got a nice pile, made in South Korea. Just an awesome, awesome towel. So we're gonna take this and then take my drying aid here. So I'm gonna take Amplify. Just for reference, I mean, do I need to put Amplify? No, I can just go like that. Take this, dry everything off, and then this paint, just with Hero alone, feels great. I mean, you can absolutely put a drying aid. It doesn't need it. This has something. They spilled something here. This looks like a paint stain. I don't know what that looks like. It looks like a glue. It's like they put something like a piece of tape there or something like that. A little Ulex or something could clean that off. But that's it, man. I mean, you can just dry the car like that, and look how good that looks. It looks awesome. But we want to amplify this paint, and I also like spraying this stuff because it smells amazing. So, gonna go ahead, couple sprays per panel here. Even hit the glass with it if I want to. We'll go through the glass cleaner and do more of a glass clean as needed. But that's it. Lucas, you want to take this and go to the other side here?
Yes, sir.
Ah, that stuff. It smells so good. I love the smell of that.
This is one of my favorite smelling products right now.
It's addictive, you know what I mean?
I love it.
And now I've got Timothy Smith here asking, with the dilution ratios you've got, how many washes can you get out of one bottle of each product?
Oh my goodness. So
I think we're still talking rinseless here.
Yeah. Standard rinseless dilution. I mean, that bottle of Hero will get you, what, 32 gallons of rinseless? Pretty good.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do the math right now. So yeah, so if you're doing 4 gallons each, then 8 washes, right? If you're doing 3 gallons each, then you're looking at
5+ washes.
10. No, if you're doing 3 gallons, you're looking at like 10.
Gallons.
You're doing like 10 something. You're doing like 10 over 10 washes. So yeah, you can do a lot, and then you can buy the gallon size if you think this is something you're going to be doing often. I just say shoot, the pint's awesome, right? Just to try it and get your feet wet, but after a certain point, you're eventually just going to start buying gallons because you're just going to figure out how much you're using.
So I say I'm about to buy my first gallon of at least Amplify.
And then I've got
good.
Morton here wanting to know, after rinseless wash, you said a tar remover is okay to use, but what about an iron remover?
You could use an iron remover, but then you need to go back over with rinseless again and respray those areas. And
I'd say if you're doing something that requires an iron remover step, I'd probably just be having the pressure washer out at that point anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just mainly the smell. I mean, you can rinse an iron remover with a rinseless. I've done it countless times. It's just just a stinky product. Some of them are a little bit sticky. Some of them kind of hang around for a while. So sometimes free-flowing water is nice for when you're doing a full iron decon, but you can absolutely do a part of your rinseless wash and make that happen.
All right. Then I've got Juice Free with an interesting question here. Is there a point with how much ppm is in the water where it would cancel out ONR's 256 to 1? He's wondering, like, if ONR has that ability at 256 to 1 where it, can handle the minerals in the water, how high does that ppm have to be before you start seeing it kind of fight back?
Dude, I've yet to see
I haven't
ppm
seen
that
it.
fights back. I don't know. I mean, I've heard of people who have had like crazy hard well water, or like, I don't know, like tank water that had like 500, 600. And some of those people that I've talked to, they've taken that and gone to the store and picked up a gallon of distilled and like diluted their hard water with some more distilled water just to kind of lighten the load a little bit. But like, I don't know. I've never heard anybody really push the limit there and have any issues. Pretty.
No, that's an interesting one, Juice. That one to think about for sure. Just haven't really experienced it that way. Let's see. So I've got a bunch more here. Let me get into those. CJ wanted to know, is store-bought distilled water better than DI water from CR? to use to dilute chemicals?
They're just different.
Yeah.
Is store-bought water, let me trying to understand that question. Store-bought water.
Store-bought distilled water better than deionized water, you know, like from a CR Spotless, to use to dilute
I mean, like,
chemicals.
there's...
It's like we're really
You're
splitting hairs here.
You're really splitting hairs at that point. I mean, like, that's where the next question would be like, what about reverse osmosis and all the other... I mean, there's a certain point where really RO, DI... I mean, once you get that mineral content down, I mean, it's... you're not gonna have an issue.
When you're aware that such things even exist, like deionized water and distilled water and stuff like that, you're already in like the 1% of car owners. And when you start comparing them, you're in like the 0.01% of car owners who do detailing. So it's definitely you're good. Like, you're already aware of the basics of what it's going to take to clean a car. You could go either way. I don't think there's really a benefit that like far outweighs the other there. It's really just splitting hairs. Okay, so moving along from there, I've
Slipped
got...
and fell to my death there.
Don't do that. Must be nice, said. Does this feel like a Seabass account? How do you incorporate an iron decon and clay bar into a rinseless wash?
I think we already covered that just earlier. If you go back just a little bit, basically find a good point once the car has been washed, and then hit it with your tar or iron remover, whatever it is, and then you can re-rinse and re-wash that area, or you can start the wash off with that and start there first. But you want to make sure that you have some type of pressure sprayer to rinse those areas. In my opinion, I like a pressure sprayer to rinse those areas and then proceed with the rest of the wash. But basically, as long as you're not leaving an iron remover on the surface by the end of the wash, there's nothing like that there, then you're good to go. Dude, Lucas, dude, this feels
pretty good.
This feels money, dude.
Oh, fine detailing here. Holy cow. Fine detailing says, mine is 600 and it's city water, fam.
Whoa.
Oh, crap. Yeah, 600.
Yeah, that's wild.
But you know,
shout out to Phoenix. Wow, never go to Phoenix.
No, 600. That's still. I don't know. I wouldn't be that concerned. I would still do it.
O&R would still help.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I'm trying to think of what's next. So what I want to do next before we do dry off the wheels.
Then I've got OC Detail New Jersey says, I buy Absolute by the gallon. I'm a rinseless convert. However, for really dirty cars, I foam and rinse first to get the heavy stuff, then rinseless to do the actual wash.
Okay, nice. That works.
I mean, you certainly can. I mean, really, realistically, like the foaming you're doing, unless you're using like one of those very specific foams, like a, you know, like active foam or something like that, where it's really meant to actually tear the stuff off the car, or like an APC, that's what you should really be using. The rinseless is still going to do everything the soap can do once you've done those pre-treat steps.
Yep, agreed.
Then I've got, this one's kind of, I'm not sure what he's getting at here. Grand F, my customer tried to explain that every company uses 3 different brands to make their products. Can you talk about that if you've got time? Thanks, y'all.
3 different brands to make their product.
Yeah, it's the 3 different brands where I think it's like, is he talking about blenders, like chemical manufacturers? Sure. There's more than 3, I can tell you that.
There's a lot more than 3. No, that's not true. There's
a lot of hearsay
back in the day, yeah, there was probably a case of, you know, there's only a handful of people that were blending car detailing chemicals, so that was probably the case in terms of public knowledge and what was known. But you know, over the years now, I can't tell you how many people have very small warehouses and are completely manufacturing from start to finish detailing products, right? I mean, we're talking 1,000 square foot warehouses. I mean, I've seen it all. I mean, me and Dane
it's like a homebrew beer setup, you know? Me
and Dane have personally been to another country where we have seen these setups, you know, in a very small space. And so you would be very surprised. I mean, as long as they're bringing raws, right, and they get their raws can come from a lot of different places as well, but the raws is just one source, which is the raw materials, the raw chemicals, right? those can come from multiple different places. Those can come from overseas. Those can come from here within the U.S. There's certain companies that only make certain raws that are available, like let's just say the UK, or maybe some of them are developed in Germany. So raws will be pulled in from everywhere. But trust me when I say there's people doing homebrew, detailing products in very small warehouses all around the country that are making stuff, and so it's not just limited to 3 companies.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
dude. This looks good. Lucas, you want to knock out the wheels on the other side? Did you dry those yet?
No, I have not dried those yet.
Take that. So I just went through with Amplify, right? Because I still had some Hero left on the surface of the wheels. So I did one little quick spritz of Amplify, and then I took my Creature Edgeless, and I went through and I cleaned up the wheel. And dude, this thing looks freaking awesome. Looks great. I'm pumped with how that looks. This is turning out more than good. It's
Anthony, I see what you're saying. These wheels are actually kind of nice to clean.
Kind of what?
Kind of nice to clean and dry.
Well, at first I was kind of a pain because of the corners, but once I got them clean, then I started drying them. I was like, oh shoot, dude, these are pretty nice.
Yeah.
So before we tackle the tires, if you want to, and let's just say you're not happy with how the glass looks, you could take your glass cleaner, take an FTW, go through, do the box method, or, right, if you guys watched our most recent video, right, with Sydney, check this out, right? Grab one of these bad boys, okay? Take your favorite glass cleaner, whatever the heck you want to use. Spray that down, get your glass cleaner applied to your applicator, then you can go through and you can do a nice deep clean doing the box method with an applicator, and you can get a good scrub inside there. And after you've gone through with that, follow up with your favorite FTW, remove any of the residue. Beautiful. And then that video, or that window is done, and I can do the inside the same thing, right? Take that same applicator, go through.
It's cutting right through, yeah.
Apply that glass cleaner.
Per Sydney, though.
Per Sydney.
Do the inside before the outside.
Oh, yeah. So, I messed up. Sorry. I just assumed my glass was clean. Wouldn't be that bad. Then take this. Yeah. So, that looks good to me, man. It's crystal clear.
That's great.
Tires.
Tires?
Tires.
What about them? Should we get after it?
Well, I was hoping you were going to get after it. Should we? I mean, I'm going to knock out the glass here. But if you want to knock out the tires, that would be helpful.
Just Free wants to know, what spray for a Last Step product has the most anti-static properties?
The most?
I'd say Dreammaker Amplify.
Dreammaker. Dreammaker's pretty great. I've had cars that had Dreammaker on them that stayed clean, just sitting in the garage for like ever. Past also has some good anti-static properties to it. Gosh, what else? QF. QF doesn't have any silicone in it or anything like that, so QF from Koch Chemie works pretty well. You're just going to get a kind of a really pure clean with that.
I feel like these tires are going to be a little difficult to dress with an applicator.
Lucas?
I'll go for it, though.
The world is your oyster. What? Shuck it, right? Just say shuck it and go after it.
I can do that.
Go outside. I like this. I like Sydney's method here. I think I might adopt this for myself. Normally I just say, whatever, going through with my towel and I just do my thing, but this is just nice.
No, that's a good point. And then, let's see, I've got Alex Dewar with some helpful advice. Top tip, I saw a Treasure Valley resident post a video at a Pay and Spray, and they forgot to charge their blower battery. Make a pre-departure checklist and charge your goods.
You should absolutely do that, yes. Yeah, always if you do go to a Pay and Spray, make sure that you are outfitted properly, whether that be with your blower or if you have anything that's battery powered. Yeah, make sure you got it all.
Yeah. Then I've got Kane 2 V1. Big fan of the hybrid approach. Pre-foam with Koch Chemie AF or built hammered touchless, including wheels, rinse, and then do rinseless wash. Seems like the best of both worlds.
Let's see, big
That's
fan.
definitely a way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. At a certain point, the whole, okay, I don't want to offend anybody. Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
It's different strokes for different folks. How often can we go over this? If you get a clean car at the end of it, you've really done your job. However, I will say, if you're doing rinseless because your whole goal is efficiency, then do rinseless. When you do hybrid, you're just kind of adding extra work that rinseless is meant to solve.
When you're doing a hybrid, you already got the freaking pressure washer out.
Yeah.
Air, you've done it. The most frustrating and time-consuming part is already done. Then just finish it. Finish the soap and water wash. I go, wait, so there's all this hype about doing a hybrid. I'm like, you're telling me now I got to break out not just part of my crap, I got to break out all of my crap just so I can have the same result? No, dude. I mean, it's either one way or the other. I don't think of it being both ways. The only reason I see you breaking out a pressure washer is if you're rinsing off something quickly on the, crap, I'm supposed to do the interior first. If you're rinsing off something quickly just to avoid getting mud or things like that inside your garage, or just trying to remove a majority of the contamination, right? And that should be as simple as plug in the hose, turn on the pressure washer, rinse it, turn it off, get it inside the garage, and then continue with the rest of your rinseless process.
Now you'll hear from Spencer
Small
B
rant.
here. Spencer says, I've been loving rinseless washing. It's basically all I do now. So convenient compared to setting up all the foam equipment. Can't wait for the new battery-powered IK Multi and foam sprayers as well.
Yeah, we're excited. It's coming soon. They'll be here eventually, but we're really excited for the new cordless from IK. That's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. And then I've got a comment here from the Detail Grind podcast, making sure they plug their stuff. If you want more hot rinseless talk, we have quite the guest this Friday. Oh, okay. Noted. I wonder who it'll be. We've got Steve Pearson here. Comment on the whole DI versus distilled thing. There's no noticeable difference. However, make sure to buy distilled water that has no minerals added.
I don't.
Yes.
Do they sell distilled water? That defeats the whole purpose.
I was going to say that's news to me because I wasn't aware that there were options
even
for
know they
distilled
did
water
that.
with minerals added. That feels kind of, that doesn't sound right.
That doesn't make any sense. We distilled the water and then re-added the minerals again. I don't know what the heck
We
that
took
even
it out to
means.
put it back in again, but in a different order. Well,
Sounds
whatever
a
the
little
case is, I mean, technically he's not wrong. Detail Grind Podcast. Jimmy's camera rig gets more and more impressive every week. Bionic Jimmy is a real thing.
It's growing at this point. We're starting not to recognize him. He went and picked something up off the floor and had a third arm do it for him.
Yeah, fun fact.
Whoa.
We don't even use like a drone.
Dude,
for
Jimmy's
drone
not even
footage. We just have
listening.
Jimmy
He's
get
like,
in his
he's
Iron Man
zoned
suit and
out
start
right
flying
now.
Very important. Demo here letting me know, and you know. Afternoon, y'all. The king cake was delivered this morning, Dane.
Yes, Demo. We have already enjoyed it.
We have.
Happy Mardi Gras, baby.
Most certainly.
We cracked that thing open for our morning meeting and jumped straight into it. And so this year, we got ourselves a raspberry and Bavarian cream. It was phenomenal. I think we ate 3/4 of the thing. I took the baby, my little baby, and my king cake. So I'm going to give that to my daughter because I think she'll get a kick out of it. But thank you so much. Like we look forward to that every single year. Demo always hooks us up with a king cake. It's like a big donut. It's like a giant donut.
It is.
Bavarian cream and raspberry. Do I need that? Do I need to be eating an entire king cake? I don't, but I love it, and it's delicious. You can see right there. It's delivered by FedEx. I don't know how that works, but it's like literally a FedEx box.
It's on the box. That's crazy.
So do yourself a favor, right? Take after us today. Order yourself a king cake. Go down to your local bakery, whatever it may be. Order it online. Get yourself set up for a rinseless wash in the garage. Turn on this video. Zen out and get it done. Think you'll like it. You'll enjoy.
Now, Steve is correcting you and saying grocery stores actually have both versions of DI water for taste or something, he says.
Oh,
I
is it
have
like
never
like the spring drinking water gallons or something. Is that what you're
Wait,
talking about?
wait, you shouldn't be.
you're
You shouldn't be
shouldn't
drinking
drink
distilled water, though. You
water.
shouldn't be
I'm
drinking
saying-
that. That's like
I know what
for,
he's talking about though. Like at the
That's like
store.
for a maintenance
Spring-
battery.
So in my stores here in Idaho, we have distilled water, we have spring water, and we have drinking water.
And I think that's what he's
That-
talking about.
There's
think. I
three.
don't
There's
know.
3 options. Spring water is not distilled water.
No.
That's from a spring. Drinking water, I don't know, purified water, just like every other water out there, purified, and then just maybe added minerals for taste, but never seen distilled water with added minerals for taste. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life. I think it's actually bad to drink distilled water. You shouldn't drink distilled water. So
probably don't do that.
who knows, man? Maybe I'm going crazy. This looks great. This
No,
thing
look,
looks
it does.
this thing looks freaking awesome, man.
I'm
Like
stoked
this
how it
looks.
turned out.
Doesn't that look
This
great?
looks good. Yeah.
No, I mean feel it, dude. The Amplify is like
Oh yeah.
amplifying.
And this was a legitimately dirty car before this too.
Drink distilled water, it just doesn't have the minerals in it to like supplement.
I
You can still drink it.
So it's just pointless.
Yeah, that's pointless then. I don't know. Then I'm not saying I don't think it's going to kill you, but I think there's no like benefit. Like you wouldn't. That's not like something you do to just drink.
First from Puerto Rico, don't drink distilled water. It absorbs your body's minerals.
There you go.
Okay, I'm not crazy. Anyways, this looks amazing, Dane. So what other questions do we have before we start wrapping this thing up? Because Jimmy will do a walk around, kind of give you guys a lay of the land here on the Bronco. This thing is scratch-free, mar-free, looks amazing, feels amazing. We knocked out in a short period of time. This isn't even our car. I've never even washed a Bronco before.
Me neither.
And the faster you get, more familiar with your car, the faster you get at this.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this is something like we probably could have knocked out in 15 minutes.
That was great.
You know, a person.
You know, we're also hanging out, talking, things like
Yeah.
that, demonstrating.
Fine Detailing wants to know what Anthony's thoughts on foaming rinseless like OPTs are.
So the foaming Optimum, like you're talking like the foaming cleaner, like Foam and R.
Yeah.
So that was a weird first experience. When we watched it here, we were like, this is super like unnatural. It doesn't feel right. But once we just did it as instructed, we were like, crap, man, like this stuff works pretty well. Like,
Well, it got weirder that it worked so well.
we were like, so shouldn't we rinse this off? And we're like, no, we don't. We just
It's like we wiped it
dry
away,
it.
and it was like,
Yeah, and
that shouldn't look like that.
And
It
then
shouldn't look good.
anything that was like foamy left over, it literally just dissolved and turned into nothing.
Yeah.
And we literally foamed it on, same dilution in the bucket, washed the vehicle.
When we let it dry too, like it doesn't even make soap spots. Like
No.
it's just a regular.
We literally
spot.
let it dry on a fender.
Yeah, and then wiped it. It was
wiped it and it just
fine.
came right off. It was
It's weird stuff.
It was really cool. It's very effective. It does exactly what it says it's going to do.
You know what I think I'm going to
Yeah.
start using it for is for rinseless wheel washing,
Ooh.
just for that peace of mind.
Yep,
Put
I
in the
like
Foam
that,
Pro
dude.
too.
Yeah, I like that. I get behind that.
Now, Mike here throwing a wrench into it. Distilled water is literally how they make every beverage you drink.
Is it?
This is why
I've
people
Is that,
should never
can we-
profess
can
to
we-
be experts in things
Mike,
that they aren't.
Can we
We're
fact,
gonna fact check
that?
somewhere.
So I know that they use distilled water for every chemical that we use.
Yeah.
For 100, I can tell you that 100% for sure. But every chemical or everything I drink, I don't know.
What about like a bottle of water, like some smart water? Is that just distilled water now?
No. No.
So anyway, while they're
Anyways.
all fighting about that, let's go ahead and reintroduce all the chemicals we used today, show
Yeah.
people what we focused on, what got attention. Let's go back over it.
Okay, so we have a few different chemicals here on the table. So biggest thing, the hero of today's video was Hero Rinseless Wash from ADS. So we used that at 256 to 1, which was roughly just 2 ounces to 4 gallons of water here in our bucket. We also had it 256 to 1 in our sprayer, and that was our primary chemical. We also had Green Star from Koch Chemie, an APC that we diluted 15 to 1, and we diluted that here in just an IK sprayer, and we used that to pre-treat the lowers, pre-treat the wheels, nothing crazy. And then following that, What did we use? We had Amplify as our drying aid, so we used that on the paintwork to make it feel shiny and smooth and give it some more gloss. We had Coach Chemi glass cleaner to follow up on an interior and exterior glass cleaning. And then lastly, we had the new tire glaze from Coach Chemi to dress the tires. And so a pretty easy setup here. Yeah. Pretty minimal setup.
Excellent. Then I've got a couple of comments left here. I've got a good one from CaneTube V1. Suggest offering a 16-inch towel holder for the extra large Rip-N Rags. No one sells those. Box takes up precious flat space. So basically, it's a little bigger than a standard towel holder. He's just looking a little beefier. I know somebody who's got some prototypes and things.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways to do that. You can get an upright holder, right? So rather than a horizontal holder, you can do an upright and find a spot where they can just be on that spin. You can pull off each individual towel. I know that Matt over at OG has a prototype that he's been working on for his towel holder that will actually hold a larger towel size like that if you want to do that. It's really expensive.
It's tailor-made for the Rip-N Rags.
Yeah, it was tailor-made for those. It was tailor-made for the 12-inch, to be fair, not the 16-inch.
Right.
But I personally, for the XLs, for the Rip-N Rag XLs, I leave them in the box. I think the box looks pretty cool.
It does.
I can understand that it does take up space, but there's actually a few companies out there that are actually making stainless shelves to fit the Rip-N Rag.
I believe it's a goalie box.
Goalie's garage. Goalie's garage. I think he's making like the exact
Gulliker.
size to where if you want to wall mount it with a stainless shelf, you can wall mount it.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely helpful. And to your point about the upright one, if you get anything that is an upright towel holder that has like a wooden like dowel rod, you could actually swap that out for your choice of a longer dowel rod pretty easily. If you're a DIY kind of oriented person, it wouldn't be very hard to do.
Yeah.
Then I've got another one here wanting to know, Lucas, how do you keep your hair looking so good?
So just born like this, man. You know what I mean?
I think he drives with the windows down a lot. You know what I mean? I think he's
use
just
a blow dryer though. That is the trick.
He's a windows down guy.
I'll be honest.
Good day from Brisbane, Australia. I love you work, guys. What is your favorite plant sealant? Paint
I think
sealant.
he means paint sealant.
My wife just got a new TWT or VWT one, and I will be ceramic coating it, but don't have time for about 6 weeks. There's a lot of great sealants out there. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you where to begin. I mean, Bead Maker is amazing, right? We all love Bead Maker. That's a great one. That'll definitely get you to that 6 week mark. SO02, Coach Chemi is awesome. Use C2V3 from G-Technic. You can use ceramic sealant from ADS. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah. Defender. Yeah, Defender would be awesome.
Then we've got some last minute ones. Yeah, Gully's Garage was a good one. Sheepstar checking in, and click that like button on your way out. I hitting all the marks. Thanks, guys.
Nice.
And oh, you know what? Here's a handy bit of advice for anybody who has a Harbor Freight in their town. They sell a magnetic mount 2-piece adjustable roll towel holder.
That's
so
perfect.
I think that means both ends can be separate, which is great.
Yeah.
That should be able to do it.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay.
Well, Dane,
Nice job.
this has been a lot of fun. This Bronco looks awesome. Lucas, thank you so much for taking the time
It's a pleasure. Thank
away
you for having
from
me.
helping all of our amazing customers to join us for this, because this is...
I'll get to y'all soon. I promise.
He'll get back.
The team's got it unlocked though, so we're good.
We're good. So, Dane, take it from here. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And for those of you who are watching here, I just want to say a big thank you to you as well for tuning in to these live details. We enjoy providing them, and as long as you guys keep tuning in, we will keep doing it. And of course, if you have some ideas for maybe what we could do next time, leave them in the comments below. We absolutely check those out, and we really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It really does help us in the algorithm along with those comments. Now, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, also consider doing that as well. And from all of us here at the Rag Company, just know we've got Q&A Thursday where we answer all your detailing questions coming up tomorrow. So you've got a good week still yet to go. Anyway, we'll catch up with you tomorrow. But for now, have a great evening. See ya.